Hello, welcome to one of the final episodes of Yurt Time with Kurt Time. Um, I'm moving out of my yurt into a real home, and so it's been a good run. So today we're going to do the final secrets of ultimate power. It's going to be a martial art episode. So, how do I hit with so much force that my opponent is wiped out as if they were hit by a tidal wave? Right. So you wanna realize that anytime you move, there's drag through reality. There's inertial drag. You could visualize this or perceive it as an energy field around you, and anytime you go anywhere, it's gonna come with you. So imagine you're in the water, and if you went like this, or like what it's like is if a swimmer's coming in to the wall, they touch the wall, and then all this energy comes in behind you, like as their wake hits, right? So what you want to do is hit with the wake. And the way to hit with the wake is you use your voice to vibrate and grab. You tone to grab the energy around you. So you want to be grabbing with this, but also you want to be grabbing with all of this, right? So you can practice this slow at first. I notice that it just happens without any toning, right? I don't have to do anything. My body is dragging the energy along with me, and as I come, there's a thing behind it. This wake that I'm talking about is happening near the speed of light or near the speed of electricity. So you can think about it very slow, but it's actually happening very fast, where you can use it to add to your own force. So notice that, but then if you really want to grab it and use it, you need to hit with it. So you have to grab it with your voice. So you can feel it and be like, and then drop it, send it off with the at the end of it. So chai cha chai, right? Chai chai. So it's using this entire energetic field and then snapping it or discharging it into the opponent. So it's like you cha, and then as that builds up the field around you, then when you hit, it's a little bit like when you short circuit a wire. Like when you break a circuit, all of the energy in the wire will dump out right there. So all of the energy in your field will dump out where you shorted out on the other person's face or into like an organ. It's really good to dump a bunch of energy into their liver, or I don't hit their heart unless you're like upset. You can hit the brain. It can take it for the most part, unless you're a total psycho. Or like a water hammer, right? So if you have a water hammer, if you have a bunch of water flowing and it's in a pipe, and you suddenly close that pipe really quick, all of the water momentum, all of the inertia in the entire pipe will dump into that gate. So you're basically feeling all of your inertia and then turning the end of the strike into a gate that suddenly gets in the way of all that inertia, and it will auto discharge into the person. This definitely works better on on another electrical system, right? Like a heavy bag really only lets you practice like the physical posture and to get the conditioning to throw these things over and over again. But to really do what I'm talking about, you can play with it by yourself or with another person, because you kind of need the other person to discharge the energy into, because it's your bioelectricity, right? So you can't really dump bioelectricity into a bag filled with like sand and cotton very well. So if you want to, you could get like a goat to practice this on. Goat's a good size. Nobody cares about goats too much. If you do this on horses, people will get mad. The horses are possibly dangerous. Anything much larger than a goat is potentially dangerous, and if you upset the practice animal, they will usually run away, or they could even attack you. They're pretty good at discharging bioelectricity. They don't have to think about any of this stuff, and it's very natural. Yeah, so the toning, like, it's not, don't try and learn what's right. Notice what this tone does to the chai, chai. You can see which way it wants to go. Chai, chai. It tends to raise in pitch as it gets farther away or further up and down. You'll notice these pitch things. So you can chai. You can grab your biofield with the sound very easily. The sound is a good interface of like actually grabbing the biofield. But the biofield comes along with you with no sound, but it's a little bit delayed. If you grab it with sound, you can carry it so the biofield hits at the same time it arrives with you. Otherwise, if you arrive first, then you're physically stopped. The gate closes slow enough that you don't really get the water hammer effect or the capacitive discharge. Right? This is kind of a capacitive discharge, and if you're not carrying it with you with like that, to do it without sound like requires absurd mental energy. But just a little bit of sound, and you can pick up quite a bit of electric biofield. Yeah. Like if somebody's attacking you, you can use your biofield to absorb it. Like if something's coming in, if you can throw your biofield up in front of you, the hit will be absorbed throughout. It'll dissipate throughout your entire system. If you get an adrenaline dump or the heart rate starts going, your blood's circulating so fast that this happens naturally. That's why when two guys are like, their circulatory system's really amped up, you can take tremendous hits and you can deliver out tremendous punishment, and it's absorbed systemically in this kind of biofield that I'm talking about. The biofield is not separate from the physical body at all. Like when you're using the biofield, it just looks like connected movements, but it's also it's like you feel it turn on. Like if you ever boxed or fought or done anything, your field you have like a life bar, and if you keep absorbing energy into the field, eventually it goes do 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 do, and then at that point they're capable of hitting you right there. Like if you're amped up when somebody hits you, they hit all of you, and then as you get more and more fatigued, then that field starts to retract. They can hit right there, and then you'll get damage right where the impact happens. So it's the same thing. Like that's what's happening with everything. So if you want to cause injury quick and not get into a fight where your health bars come up and it's like, you fight. If you just want to like end it, you have to like distract. So you can do something like draw their attention down, maybe kick down, and as their attention's down, you can potentially get to where there's a gap in their field and just punch straight through to the brain. And that will usually turn off the person. Yeah, any sort of thing, draw the attention there, pop up there. That's why it's if somebody is like we work exactly like so if you're getting tired or whatever, normally your biofield is strengthened where your attention is. So if somebody sees something coming, the biofield automatically goes and takes it. So if you can distract somebody and hit so their biofield is at the distraction and clock them from the other way, that's 90% of like ultimate punching power. It's mostly yeah, controlling your field, controlling their field, um, and yeah, I think that's. I mean, like if you're doing cardio, if you're training, all that stuff is just strengthening the biofield, and then doing sport-specific movements and stuff like that is how to move that conditioning around, deploy it. How do you deploy your biofield? Um, so you can be very good at deploying a biofield that if you're out of shape, you'll have a weak biofield, or you could be in really good shape but not know how to deploy it. Uh, yeah, so get your cardio in. Practice on a goat. Um, a combat goat. I don't know animal abuse. This is a specific goat bred for a specific reason. It's not. I'm not advocating animal abuse. These goats enjoy it. So if you can't find, this is a consenting goat, we'll say. Um, Or you could practice on a goat like greatest of all time. Like find the best fighter in the world and be like, all right, I'm gonna. And yeah, so that might be the last yurt time episode. I don't know. We might have one more. We'll see.